The average career in professional Rocket League is significantly shorter than most esports. While Counter-Strike pros can play at the top level well into their 30s, leading a decade-long or even in some cases a 20-year-long career, pro Rocket League players almost always last only about 5 to 6 years. Even the best pros in RLCS history fall neatly into this bucket. Arguably the greatest of all time, TurboPulsa, had about a 6-year career. Another contender for the GOAT title, KDOP, lasted about 6 years. World champion and the greatest 1v1 prodigy of all time, Scrubkilla, only lasted 4 years once he was eligible for pro play. The list goes on and on. Mist lasted 4 years, AJ had a 5-year career, Sypical made it 4 years. Even players known for their longevity, like Garrett.G and Jnaps, only had about a 7-year window where they could make lands. There's just too much reliance on mechanical ability in Rocket League. As the years have gone by, what's possible in pro play develops, but the old guard still has the bad habits of years past, while the new generation only knows how to use the flashy new moves. And worse for the old guys, there's not much of an advantage in wisdom, strategy, or experience. It's adapt or die, and for most, that hill is too steep to climb, so they're forced into death. But there is one pro who's changing this narrative single-handedly. There is one player who after an 8-year career is still putting up all-time performances, and there is one player who still finds himself in the conversation for the best player in the world at 24 years of age. That man is Justin.
Another chance here, Justin on the dribble, makes it! Axel forced to jump early, couldn't get there, had to redirect! Justin ties it! Big net, here it goes, baby! Oh, here's Justin with a little bit of space. Can he take it across? Does he find the double? It's a fake set with the shot!
Yeah, Rebellion have got a big problem, and that problem is Justin.
In 2018, NRG Esports picked up 15-year-old Justin in place of Jacob. With the new third man, the team would instantly catapult from last place at the Season 4 World Championship to the Grand Finals in Season 5, finishing an overtime away from winning it all. Over the next 3 years, NRG, led by Justin, would have some incredible performances, most memorable of all being a revenge championship in Season 8 against the same man that beat them last time. But after that, the domination continued, and during the COVID shutdowns, with the new addition of Squishy, NRG looked like perhaps the best team in the world, winning 2 North American majors and the NA Championship in June. From the moment Justin joined the team until the Stockholm major at the end of 2021, you can make a case that at any given point he was the best player in the world. But his age of dominance would come to an end in 2022. Entering the LA major, NRG was the 1 seed out of North America, but when the event rolled around, the team would only win 1 series against Renegades and would flop out in 12th place. From that point on, NRG would never be the same, missing 5 of the next 6 RLCS lands and dissolving at the end of the 2023 season. While Justin was still considered the best on the team at the time of its splitting, massive question marks remained surrounding all 3 of the ex-NRG players. When a team falls off like this and misses lands, especially this many in a row, there's usually no returning to form. Just look at a team like Rogue or Complexity in Season 6. Regardless, the 3 players went their separate ways, and Justin found himself on Shopify Rebellion beside 2Piece and Parth. After a solid first event, the team would perform poorly in back-to-back regionals, and it was starting to look like the beginning of the end for the once legendary American pro. But just when Justin's stocks had reached their lowest point ever, the team strung together good results, 2 top 8s in a row, and a chance to qualify for the World Championship in the 3rd regional. They needed to win the whole event, or make it to the finals and win a tiebreaker. Here's what happened.
Rebellion on match point. Can they end this series here?
Oh, Justin! Challenge fastball!
Chance here for the bottom of downfield. Park cuts it out. He gets it through. Can James get back in time? The answer's no!
Shopify Rebellion stay alive and have a real legitimate shot at London as it's calling his name. Justin has a chance.
He's looking for that pass to Parth. Parth trying to get it back down. Justin with a chance for a solo. Aries has to watch out for the bomb. It's on the top left to Justin. 5 of 9, the best spot. He doesn't have boost. So Parth taking this one. Air dribble to the moon.
Shopify Rebellion lives to fight one more time. Justin, why not? Brazil to close it out on Neo Tokyo.
The Psycho, but couldn't get it there. Just not enough space to on the ball. For 3 seconds, 2Piece get it to Justin. No, he does it all himself. You see Atomic across. You see the shot. No way that goes through. Hits the post. Daniel with the follow. And G2 back in this game. We are tied up.
Overtime looming again. Do we have another photo finish? Atomic for the win! And we've got a tiebreaker!
But that was a crazy bounce.
Oh, Punt just won the hole. Touch the hole. Failing Nolly comes in the last second to keep it tied.
But now we've got overtime golden goal for the major.
Again, as Rebellion have to think about it, when they lost it, there it is! Oh, OG! Survive the tsunami! On to London!
And just like that, as fast as Justin's season began to sparkle with hope, it had ended, and he was done for the year. It was especially brutal because this all took place in May. Justin would have to wait until the following January to get a chance to play again. That was, if he could even muster up enough motivation to keep grinding the game for 7 months after such a soul-crushing defeat. But despite the loss, the Rocket League scene saw how much Justin had impressed during that second split of 2024. And in the offseason, Justin would get a tryout for a top team. But after that didn't quite work out, he decided to run it back with Shopify Rebellion, and that, once again, did not go to plan. On April 14th, 2025, Justin was signed off of Rebellion to Gen.G Esports. The move was not very popular. Gen.G was just coming off the back of a win in Regional 3 to qualify for the Birmingham Major, and they were giving up their team captain in Ruddles to make room for Justin. There was much debate about this trade being a lateral move, a loss of the stabilizing veteran presence of Ruddles and an insertion of Justin and his questionable mental game. Regardless, it seemed like this team might be Justin's best and perhaps last chance to make a return to LAN, especially given that the team had accumulated a good amount of points from making the previous major. The questions could only be answered on the field, and it started with a matchup against the future world champions, NRG.
And Atomic will have that one away, but that one's a free ball for Cheese, and he puts it out of Beast Mode's reach. That's going to want to call down, and Magic Bear will do just that. Cheese, backboard for Justin, just floats it home. His first goal of the weekend, and nothing else. Oh, Magic Bear! They do disperse as they cross the line, and Justin will score!
Look at Magic Bear, though. He's on a full tank, going for the short angle shot.
Maybe gearing up for another OT, but right now Atomic trying to shake the defender, and he can. Cheese! That's a second split. Cheese is downfield. Empty net. This is a beatdown of biblical proportions in Game 5 as Gen.G asserts its dominance here on Saturday.
With this momentum, Gen.G powered their way to the grand finals, and after 2 more solid performances, Justin was back on LAN in 2025, 3 years after his most recent appearance at the 2022 World Championship. To my knowledge, that 3-year gap between LAN qualification is the longest in RLCS history. Justin literally did something which was previously thought to be impossible, and by no means did he look like dead weight getting carried around by his teammates. In fact, it was quite the opposite. Most of the time, Justin looked like the best player on the team, and while the results at the LANs were not quite what the team had hoped for, there was no question that Justin had clawed his way back into the conversation of being one of the better players in North America and a potential perennial LAN contender. Entering the 2026 season, Gen.G would drop Cheese to pick up English import player Rise, who in the past had a ton of LAN success and was coming off the back of a solid year on Twisted Minds. Unfortunately though, after a decent first event, the team performed terrible in Regionals 2 and 3, not even coming close to qualifying for Boston, and retirement talks surrounding Justin fired right back up. Things were looking especially dire because there was nowhere to go for him, it seemed. NRG and Shopify Rebellion weren't going to make any moves, Virtus Pro just had their best split ever and certainly wouldn't change a thing, and SSG was changing, but only to pick back up Zach at a retirement. This meant the options for Justin were to stick and try to rebuild Gen.G, move to an underdog like Dignitas, or make a lateral move to FUT. Even Justin himself joined in on the retirement discussion, tweeting a cryptic message on February 25th, just after the end of the Boston Major. But the surprise of the season happened on March 2nd, when it was reported that FUT would be dropping 2/3 of their roster to pick up both Chronic and Justin. If you don't know how RLCS roster change rules work, during the transfer window, teams are allowed to swap out one of their players. But if they swap out multiple, all of their points are reset, essentially becoming a brand new team. FUT was taking a massive risk. They were hoping to qualify for Paris, and then for the World Championship would almost certainly need to win the last chance qualifier because they were so behind on points. The chirping began once again. Questions about not taking risks on a flashy young player, comments about no expectations, concerns about it being just another NA roster window, and a near unanimous agreement about the risk factor of the move. Once again, the questions could only be answered in game, and when the regionals rolled around, FUT showed up.
Setting up Justin, light shot towards net, it's good! Of Rebellion and Chronic, going for goal this time, and gets the dunk, a tilter! Up and over one, Chronic goes for the top corner, Justin on the rebound, he scores it! Justin, dribble cut, Justin, He has a lead blocker. Justin goes for the 50. Gets by Chronic, but Cheese cuts it off. Cheese swats it. It's contested. Oh my, is the net open? It might be. It is. Cheese strikes. And now again, Kofer backflips. Justin with the goal. Justin puts FUT past Shopify Rebellion.
FUT comfortably qualified for the Paris Major, knocking out the well-established Virtus Pro squad that looked so good in the previous split. The team's playstyle was so different from everyone else in the scene. You see, most teams today focus on solo plays. Most players try to flip reset, dribble, and double tap the ball past their opponents. But that's not how FUT plays. This team has re-established infield passing in Pro Rocket League, and their offense, though it doesn't sustain pressure as well as some others, is absolutely deadly when they do get possession. The performance of FUT at the Paris Major was the best from a North American 4 seed that we've seen in years. And though they didn't quite make top 8, they traded blows with two giants of the scene in Carmine Core and Vitality. That form was kept up, and perhaps even improved when the team returned to Paris for the Esports World Cup. After a grueling, several-hour last chance qualifier bracket, FUT, after getting bracket reset by Stallions, won in their second series to qualify for the main event. And in it, they looked great, but lost against Twisted Minds, and in the lower bracket would unfortunately lose a Game 7 OT to Shopify Rebellion, despite an insane performance from Justin, where he scored a hat-trick in Game 1, and would put the team on his back for 2 more wins in Games 3 and 4. After the end of the event, Blast released their player ratings, a form of advanced metric that composites stats into one player performance number from 0 to 10. Justin, at the end of the event, was 8th, the 8th best player in the entire world, behind only the 3 tournament winners, the 1v1 world champion, and a few other incredible pros. He ended the tournament with one of the highest scores per game and one of the highest goal participation percentages in the entire event. Justin has gone from the undisputed best player in the world to falling into absurdity and being nowhere to be seen, presumed to be retiring, to reviving his career and re-emerging as a world-class player in 2026. This career arc will be studied for years to come, and it's changing how we even understand professional play in this game. Some have begun to wonder if Rocket League is approaching the skill ceiling in terms of mechanics. If this is the case, then we might start to expect pros to be able to sustain longer careers. The 5 and 6 year careers might just be things of the past, and Justin might be paving the way for a new era of pros who play 10 years, or perhaps even more. That's one possibility, but the other is that Justin is just simply a freak of nature, a one-of-a-kind player who can adapt like a chameleon into whatever the pro scene asks of him, a unique man who doesn't develop bad habits and get stuck in the old ways, but instead constantly works to reinvent himself in the world of Rocket League to stay one step ahead of his opponents. What the future holds in store for Justin, I cannot wait to find out. Will he find himself back in championship contention sometime in the next year? I don't know, but one thing is certain. Right now, Justin is back. Thanks for watching, everyone.